any other brokerage. Is that okay? How many of you know that young guy who had the Labs black t-shirt on? How many of you know who he is? Raise your hand. All right. That is Gary Keller. Gary Keller is what we would consider the Steve Jobs of real estate. How many know who Steve Jobs is? Yeah, most of you have him in your back pocket or sitting in front of you right now. Exactly. So when we start talking about what we are as a company, what we are as an industry, what we are moving forward, I want you to understand that we are fortunate to have the Steve Jobs of real estate in our back door. And it'll make a little more sense as we get through the next hour and a half, okay? So I have Team Tiffy here at Keller Williams Marketplace 1. We also have an expansion team that is currently going into Harbor Springs, Michigan. And we are also looking to put an expansion team into the great country of, where is she at now? Patty? Guatemala. So we are starting to build our network and our business rapidly, and it's creating some challenges for us, and thank goodness we're Keller Williams, which is the largest real estate company in the world, not only by agent count, but also by volume. We are the #1 training company in the world, as Gary Keller told you for 2017. We are also the #1 what? Second only to Nike?
#1 company in the world.
Exactly. I'm really proud to be where I am today. I'm really proud. There's a lot of brokerages out there, there's a lot of people out there, and you know what? We're all salespeople. So we will tell you what you want to hear. But we don't always deliver upon that, okay? So I'm just going to get real. That's my promise to you. That's what brought you here today. I'm going to get real with you. I'm going to get honest with you. I might even get a little raw with you, because that's my personality. That's who I am. I don't sugarcoat anything. And I'm really proud to share the stage today with our broker, Sharon Swanton, who's going to come up and talk to you, and also Ed Orasi, who's going to come up as well. So I think Ed's up first. So we're going to let Sharon come in. Ed.
Hello, everybody. Big turnout. Thank you guys for coming in. I also run a team here, Orasi Group. We also have an expansion team in Florida, and we do commercial. Craig does luxury. I don't think you said.
Nah.
Yeah, he does luxury. I do commercial. Everybody hears commercial and they just think dollar signs and it's great. Yeah, but it's not as fun as everybody thinks it is. It takes about 9 months to a year to close a deal in commercial, so you're not getting paid unless you're doing something else. So enjoy today. It's going to be fun. A lot of information. Ask questions. If you need anything, please let us know while we're here.
Awesome. And here is Sharon Swanson, who is our broker. Sharon comes to us with over 40 years experience in the real estate and business background. She was a coach for large corporations. She spent a lot of time in the Central California, San Francisco Bay Area, building empires and businesses, and we're fortunate to have her transition all of that knowledge and information to our real estate.
So I do a lot of training, and I've been in business longer than some of you have been alive. There's almost nothing I haven't seen in the 41 years that I've been doing this, and I do a lot of training here in our branch. So we're all here today. These are the top 2 team leaders in our office, top 2 agents actually in our office. Each of them have different personalities and qualities, and one of the best things about real estate is that everyone in this room has their own little set of clients, and they only work with you. So the ones that work with you don't work with you. The ones that work with you don't work with you. Your job is to go out as a realtor and find them, because they don't know how to find you. But they're all out there and they're just waiting for you to find them. This is a business with unlimited opportunity. So I'm glad to see you all here today, and we hope to share with you some of the good, the bad, and the ugly about our business.
Absolutely. So, how many know about our real estate market? Who wants to share their thoughts, their opinions about Las Vegas real estate market? Anybody?
Should have bought something here 3 or 4 years ago.
Should have bought something 3 or 4 years ago. Absolutely right. Who else? What do you know about this market? Is this a down market? Is this a buyer's market?
No idea.
You have no idea about the market. You know what? Most of your clients don't know either, or at least they don't know the truth. Okay? Media, internet, a Las Vegas Review Journal, Orlando Daily News, they're going to tell you what they think they know about the market, And the only person who really can tell you with such accuracy is going to be your local realtor. And even they don't have data factual. They have an opinion, they have an educated guess, they have recent transactional data, they have data from their local real estate board. In here, we call it the GLBAR, or the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. But Ed and Sharon and I cannot walk into a buyer consultation and with absolute accuracy say, you're gonna pay this price for this home today, and they're going to come down 5% off of their list price, and you're gonna close in 45 days, and you're gonna get a rate of 4.25% interest on an FHA. We can't do that. We can't. There is so much gray in real estate that all we can do is go based off of historical data. And often we go to Sharon and we're like, I have gotten 2 deals this week alone where the buyer is asking the seller to pay for closing costs, and I haven't had that in the last 24 months. What does that mean? And she can come up with some sort of analogy on that. So according to the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors, GLBAR, 46,598 total properties were sold during 2017. What? 46,598 properties were sold in 2017. The 3rd best sales year on record, and the best year for existing local home sales since 2011. Wait a minute. When did the market crash in Las Vegas? Does anybody know? So 07 it crashed, 08 it bottomed out, kind of stayed there for a while, 36 months-ish, depending on the price points. And about when did it start to come back up?
14.
Some people will argue 11, 12 based on investor market, what we would call resale market or MLS market. But it started to come up about 11, 12. Okay? So 2017 sales totals exceeded 41,720 such properties sold in 2016. Last year's totals ranked just below 47,685 sales, which were recorded in 2009, and the record of 48,798, which was in 2011. So it looks like 2011 was our record year, 2009 was our 2nd record year, and 2017 was our 3rd record year. So what does that tell you? Is it a good time to get into real estate? Is it a bad time to get into real estate? Whether you think it is, or whether you think it isn't, you're both right. You're both right. And so we're going to focus on why it's a great time to get into real estate, provided you do a few things differently. Okay? 1.3 million realtors nationally, according to National Association of Realtors. 87% of all real estate agents fail within their first 5 years. So now let's take you back to the best years that we've had. 2006 is when we had the height of our market. Okay, 5, 6. How many of you were in real estate in 2005, 2006? Okay, probably a good thing. How many of you thought about getting into real estate in 2005, 2006? Okay, how many of you know somebody who got into real estate in 2005, 2006? For those of you who know somebody who got into real estate in 2005, 2006, are they still in real estate today, yes or no? Retired.
No.
Are they still in real estate
No,
today?
not anymore.
Okay. 72% of the people who got into real estate in 2005 and 6 are out of real estate. They didn't even make the 5 years. 2018 will see an increase of over 16,000 real estate agents in the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors compared to 14,000 in 2017. Congratulations, you are all on the slide. You are all part of this 16,000. Congratulations. Ed, explain to the group the psychological experience of a new agent when they get into the market and how they get out of the market.
First thing, everybody gets into real estate thinking one of a couple different things. Easy money, fast money, it's not that hard. What happens is they get into real estate, they realize it's very, very hard, the money is not fast, and you have to work. It's like any other job. As team owners, I work probably 70 hours a week. Craig probably works 70 to 80 hours a week as well. It's not a part-time job. If you wanna do it part-time, you're not gonna make money because people need you when they're available, not when you're available. So what ends up happening is people run out of money because it costs money to be in real estate. You have to pay for advertising, you have to pay for marketing, you have to pay for your business cards, your licensing fees, and you still haven't even sold the house yet. So most people get into it, it's easy money, they get in, they start working, they realize, okay, now I have no money, now I gotta find something to do. Logical evolution is join a team. That's what we do. We get people who are get into real estate, start working and realize I can't do this by myself. And we have systems. We both have systems, we have admin, we have people that help do things. Because when you realize you're in real estate, you are the CEO, the guy that takes out the trash, the guy that cleans the bathrooms, you're everything if you're a solo agent. And it's very, very difficult to join it. Trust me, I've been in for 15 years. It's not an easy task. You need people around you.
So let's talk about that. We understand that everybody in this room doesn't know what they don't know. We understand that. I didn't know. I was running a law firm in 2013-ish, and our law clients were coming back to us saying, we're losing our house, help us. There's a Nevada law that says, we can get a foreclosure mediation program and only pay $200 and sit in front of a negotiator. We learned about real estate law at the time. I got my license not to sell real estate. I'm not a salesperson. Dude, real estate agent? Dude, they're like one step above an attorney. What are you talking about? But I got my
We're running right below it.
Depends on who you ask. But I got my license so I could help our law clients because I understood all about the real estate law. I just didn't know anything about real estate sales. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I love helping people. And I'm a damn good salesperson. Like, I'm really good at what I do. And I got into real estate sales, and I was able to do some transactions. But I was my only agent in my only brokerage. Because remember, I was never gonna sell real estate. So my broker was a commercial broker who did all of our expert testimony witnesses when we would go in front of the real estate division or Las Vegas Justice Court or Clark County District Court or the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors, because they all have their own little mini courts. And he would go in and he would be an expert about the market and about agent ethics. He was on the grievance committee at the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors, but he didn't have any agents, and I wasn't gonna sell real estate. So, kind of tongue in cheek, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew enough about the law and the contracts, that was pretty easy for me. And I knew about helping people, and I knew that, well, if I'm gonna be a real estate agent, I probably should market myself a little bit. So I created a few ads, I got into bed with Zillow early on, made them a lot of money. Mic drop, everybody's like, huh? We'll talk about that in a second. And then all of a sudden, I did 33 transactions my first year by not even working in real estate. And so I gave myself my own awards, had my own little parties, had my own little plaques. And then I grew a team, and I realized at that point, oh my gosh, I know nothing about real estate. I know nothing. I don't know about the costs, to keep my license going. I don't know about ethics laws and rules and regulations. I don't know about my oaths. I don't know about win-win situations with other agents, that I'm doing business with. I don't know a lot. And so I grew a team of 2, and I finished the year, and I realized in order to move that team to another direction, I need leverage. I need to be aligned with people that can help my team grow, help me do better deals, have better understandings, because the market was still going up at that point, and that created its own challenges. And I didn't realize from my position what it was going to take for a new agent to get into real estate, get licensed, get into production, get into stability, and then get into growth. I didn't know. Because I aligned myself with people that already had a little money in their pocket, were looking to make a change. They could go 6 months, 12 months, maybe even longer without a job. And I didn't know the people that I was attracting that I wanted to help get into real estate. I didn't realize, oh my gosh, it's expensive. Oh my gosh, you're gonna go through a 90-hour course, and most people don't understand
what they have to do in real estate, 90-hour course education as opposed to real estate sales as a profession. And so it wasn't until I got into different brokerages and I interviewed 7 in town, and I was going to go with this other brokerage because they're got golden handcuffs and they're like they're going to take over the market by storm. And my team said, no, you're not. We're not going there. I'm like, well, they're all the same. They all take your money and they're all the same. That's what they do. No. I interviewed with Keller Williams. I'm like, no, you guys are like the rah-rah brokerage. You guys are the ones that are, you got colors and you drink Kool-Aid and you're out there, like trying to promote peace and equality and all that stuff. And the team leader at the time handed me this book. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about this. In fact, I've been in a lot of airports. I travel a lot. I know that it's a national bestseller. I even know who Gary Keller was. And he's like, do me a favor. I'm going to meet with you in 2 weeks. Read to page 198. And if you don't read to page 198, let's not meet. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Well, I have a strong personality, so that night I went through and I read close to 198 and 190. And I was in. I'm like, this isn't a book. There's no fiction in here. This is a business plan. This is like the A to Z of what a real estate agent should be doing, could be doing, or if they didn't do it, they should get on track and start doing it. And so I sat down with that team leader at an open house with my team off-site because I didn't want to get recruited. And I said, listen, I know about Tony Robbins, I know about Rich Dad Poor Dad, I know about all of those entrepreneurial personalities. And I'm a little in the middle. Like I'm a little more purposeful with my intentions. I'm not so ethereal and motivational. Although I have to make a buttload of money because I just left the law firm full time. And I live a life of scarcity. And I've always had an income. And even though I have money in the bank that I could survive for a while, I have agents that need my support. I have business expenses. I have listings. What the F am I going to do now? I just started reading the book and I started applying the systems and models. That year I ended the year, this was June of 2016, I ended the year at number 5 in the market center. Which, by the way, it was still top 5% of all real estate agents in Las Vegas. The following year, I ended the year as number 2 team. Number 4 individual agent. This year, I'll end the year as number 1 team. If he gets off his behind and starts working a little harder, I might end the year as number 3 individual agent. And what the rest of this conversation today is going to be about is what are you doing systematically? What do you know? What do you don't know that you need to know? Because it already exists. And I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of having the largest team at Keller Williams Marketplace 1. I'm really proud of being a top 100 real estate agent out of how many? How many are in Las Vegas?
16,000.
Over 16,000. Guess what, guys? The bar to be successful in real estate is like here.
Lower.
Yeah, okay, lower. Like, don't be discouraged about that. That's what makes it an awesome opportunity to get into real estate. At my brokerage, with my leadership, with my team, we are 100% in support of every other agent that we come into contact with. There is so much business out there for everybody. We're not that type of culture that says, oh, I can't have you competing with my business. No, they might like you better than they like me. What do you need from me? How can I help you? How can I get you what you want? Every agent that joins my team has a minimum financial goal of $100,000 or more. A minimum. I have some agents on my team that say I want to be the top agent on the top down report in the next 12, 24 months. I want 60 listings by the end of the year. I want this, I want that, I want that. I want my first house paid for. I want to go out and buy this, I don't know, R8, X8, whatever 8 car. Great. What are we doing every day? 60 hours a week plus to get there. So how many in the room did I completely scare out of the opportunity of getting into real estate? You know you're going to work 60 hours a week plus. You know you're going to have massive amounts of conversation. You know it's gonna cost you money to get into real estate. How many in this room knows what it actually costs to get into real estate before you even hang your license at a brokerage? How many can tell me? You know, how many else know? How many want this book? Raise your hand. Then give me a guess. One at a time. You started first.
I first got in with all my fees, joined the boards, all that, big advertising, about $2,500.
Before you hang your license.
Yeah, about 25.
Okay, $2,500. Who else? Closest one wins. You in the back. Huh? 1,500. 4,500. 1,000. 3,000. So this is education, 90-hour course. This is fingerprinting. This is submitting your license with the real estate division. This is getting your Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors startup fees done for the period of time, because they break them up into quadrants.
At least 500.
At least
5,000.
At least 5,000. 5,500.
4,500.
Okay, so how many in this room have the money that they think it's going to take to go ahead and start their real estate career today? Okay, fair enough. The correct answer is? Somebody said it.
About 2,500.
Okay, who said 2,500?
About 25.
I will sign it later, congratulations. And I'm not Gary Keller. So $2,500 to $3,000 because of the time frame that you actually submit your license. Okay?
I want to say something about what you saw happen between Ed and Craig just a few minutes ago, where they were kind of nudging each other and competing with each other. How many of you guys thought that was kind of fun? Yeah. So what I want to share with you is that is our culture here. When Craig says that we support other agents and our agents support each other, he's not kidding. There is none of the sniping or backbiting or ugly competitiveness that you will find in other places. Everybody here cheers everyone else's success, including people who are not even with our company. Part of my job as broker, I laugh and call myself a complaint department, because if there's a problem, it usually ends up on my desk. But when I am working with other brokers or other agents, my purpose is to do whatever it takes to solve the problem, not to see who's right and wrong. So that is in general how we all work together. And the kind of competition you see between Ed and Craig is part of what makes such a healthy culture here. It is expensive, and I will tell you right now what Ed said about part-time is true. Most successful realtors individually work 50 to 60 hours a week. I did when I was an agent. So it's not a business where you work 20 hours a week and you make $100 grand. That is not true. Never has been.
Does not mean you can't get there.
That's true. You can, but you
That-
don't start there.
You do not start there at all.
Full disclosure though, I've known Craig for just about 10 years now, 11 years. My production was okay for an agent. When he moved over and came over here is when I started to grow my team. Because that's what it is. It's all about here growth, working with each other, competing against each other, but never building walls. There is no walls. Craig's team, my team goes to Craig if they have questions. Craig's team comes to me if we have questions. We share ideas. If your mindset is what's mine is mine, this isn't the place for you. And I don't think his team or my team, because we share. If people need something, you help. And your clients are not mine, his clients are not mine, my clients are not his. We all do our own thing, we all just help each other. And that's the culture here, that's what we do. And that's really the way it is. It's competing. We just had a guy, Mark, who hasn't been here in about a month, and I'm like, what happened? All your stuff was down here. Oh, when we had the carnival here, Jocelyn took it down, forgot to put it up. I'm like, oh, well, I thought that you were leaving. I was gonna find out what was going on. That's what we have here. It's like a big, I call it a big dysfunctional family. Because that's what it is. We have arguments, we have fights, but we still love each other, and at the end of the day, we'll go to battle for each other.
So let's talk about that, because that's up here on the slide. Dependent, independent, interdependent. Does anybody know what that means? If you watch the vision speech from Gary Keller, he talks about it very quickly in the very beginning of the video. But who can tell me an example of a dependent real estate business or real estate brokerage? Who? Anybody? I got stuff to give away. This is interactive, guys. An example.
Of a
Of
brokerage?
a dependent brokerage.
Berkshire.
Okay, that would be a literal example of a dependent brokerage. What about the mindset of that brokerage, a dependent brokerage?
So somebody that doesn't want you to be able to do something without them.
Okay. What is an example of a independent brokerage? Okay,
A place where you just hang your license.
okay. Those are both exact, correct answers. So now what would be the example of an interdependent brokerage?
Working together as a team.
Okay? There's this saying that somebody said many years ago, no one succeeds alone. There's no I in team. Together, everybody achieves more. I am a firm believer. I'm an absolute firm. I have a dependent mindset. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an empire builder. I'm a very, vision dominating, assertive guy by nature. And I've had to learn to give away responsibility, give away profits, give away expectations, take my hands off of some things so that people who are in my organization can grow. We all share that mindset. Sometimes we're biting our tongue, we're going, Keller Williams is an interdependent brokerage. We're going to help you to the full extent that you need help, whatever that is. If you need me to be a dependent leader upon you today, I'm going to do that. And if you need me to be an independent leader with you today, no problem. Have fun, go kill it, go make your money. And we're gonna set up our compensation structure to reflect that. We're going to provide training and accountability and coaching to reflect that, because we believe that 100% of Keller Williams' success is all about the agent. So when I was interviewing those 7 brokerages, I went to some of the big ones in town. Some of them are independent brokerages, some of them are interdependent brokerages, and some of them are dependent brokerages. Remember, I wasn't that smart as an agent. Remember, I came from a small little closet where I didn't know anything about real estate. I knew about law, I knew about business, I knew about accountability, and I knew about money. I didn't know about real estate. So part of my success was luck. Luck will only get you so far. So I knew enough to know that I had to go and interview. So I actually called Ed one day, because I've known Ed for a long time, long before I got into real estate. I said, hey, I'm thinking of coming over to your brokerage. Go with handcuffs, we're gonna take it over by storm, we're gonna have an attorney in our back pocket. We can mess up this town. And Ed's like, yeah, I'm not there anymore. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you don't wanna go there. Craig, I know your personality, and I know that you're going to need other people to help you get what you want. Because you have a capacity of long, narrow, and far, and you make waves around you. And so you just need people in your organization that respect that, understand that, and do realize that your whole opportunity in life is to help people make a lot of money. Oh, by the way, I'm at Keller Williams Marketplace One, you should come over here. So I came over, he introduced me to team leader, and I'm like, wow, guys, like, I know enough to know that we're not gonna get along. Like, I'm aggressive. I'm out there, I want what I want. I'm not gonna get pom-poms and sing Kumbaya.
Hold on, you did say on the phone before you came in that was the Kool-Aid place.
I did, yeah, I know that. Keller Williams, red, drink the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
So I came over, I met with Keith, I sat down and I said, hey, I bought down my splits with my broker. I'm like making a buttload of money. You're gonna take some of that. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I wanna, if I yell at somebody once, or if I storm out of the office, or if I'm talking too loud. I don't know if I want somebody knocking on the door going, hey, Keller Williams, our culture is. I don't know if I want that. So I sat down for 4 hours and interviewed the team. 4 hours. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. So I went back to my team. He came and interviewed us at an open house. He brought a couple more books. We went through some really important steps in the books. And then we started talking about the opportunity for the agents, for my team, their growth, their education, their next level experience, leadership opportunities, expansion opportunities. One of my agents wanted to move out of state. And that's when the light bulb went on. So then I came back to the office and I realized, oh my gosh, Ed can be a D like me. He gets assertive sometimes. He wants what he wants.
That agent over there, like, they're doing a lot of money. They don't appear to be that nice. So maybe I can get along. Here's what I learned. This market center at Keller Williams Realty has a whole bunch of business people in it. Business people that make a lot of money. A lot of money. Do you know that I'm standing, who's sitting next to me, the guy that sold the Mount Charleston Lodge? I mean, I get goosebumps to think that this guy, who I've known for 10 years, has made more money this year and has moved his family to the next chapter of his life. And I've had a little bit to do with that.
You got a lot. Yeah.
How many in this room would like to have a $100,000 check off of one deal? One deal. What would that do to your life? One check, one deal, and he has spent the last 15 years kicking that can down the road, getting a little bit better, coaching a little higher, aligning himself with the right partners, the right people, the right team. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes up to him and says, you know what? I talk to everybody in town and they all say you're the commercial guy and this is what I need. And Ed's like, you know what? I'm going to help you. And was it an easy deal?
Not.
He's laughing harder than he is. Did the deal get done?
Yep.
Yeah. Does it make it easier to do the next deal?
Not really, because they're all different.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, well, the thing is the support you get. I mean, how awesome is it to come to work every day and know that the people around you are all vested in your success. They all want you to do well. Nobody comes in and says, oh, you know what, I hate Craig, or I hate Ed, I don't want him to sell.
Anymore. No.
So it doesn't. And then be on teams where you sit down and talk to us, and we have a plan. We have 4 questions we ask you when you sit down with us. It's real simple. It's right from this book. It's, what was your goal? How did you do? How do you feel about that? And what are we going to do differently?
And what page is it on?
167 of this book.
There you go.
And truth be told, before Craig got here, I didn't even read this book. I didn't even like it. Then Craig started building his team, and I'm like, I gotta learn. There's got to be something in here.
So let's talk about that cost value. So Ed, how much do you pay the market center out of your check for every deal that you close right now? Right now.
Right now?
Yeah, you.
I just reset.
Okay,
So-
fair enough.
So
last month, how much did you pay?
0.
Yeah.
And the month before that, 0. Since June, I paid 0.
Paid
Every
out
month.
0?
Paid out 0.
Your agent.
No, paid out
To
0
the
to the
brokerage.
office.
So now, so we have some people here who are high C personalities. If you know Tony Robbins and you know the 4 quadrants, the D, the I, the S, the C, you understand that people are going, oh, okay, I'm all about dollars and cents and bottom line. What does this mean? One of the things that didn't attract me to Keller Williams was, you mean I got to pay you some of my money? You better really give me something. You better really give me something, because I could go to that other brokerage and they'd be like, yeah, here's the front door key. The lights get turned off at 8 p.m. Don't let it hit you in the behind on your way out. Hey, if you need something, let me know. And I got a little invoice slip. I'll hand it to you, and we'll just charge you for whatever it is that you need from me. But you're not going to get what's in front of you. You don't have access to all this. You don't have access to the broker 24/7. Well, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Let me rephrase.
Yeah, really.
You don't have access to Gary Keller. You don't have access to $150 million producers who have expansion teams in 12, 20, 50 cities around the nation. You don't have access to Seth Campbell.
On that note, real quick, what you don't have access to in other places, because this is really important to me, is we went to an event for the top 20% of Vegas at the Red Rock Country Club.
Yeah.
Craig was there, his team was there, my team was there, we were talking. Craig knew the gentleman that was speaking, Jason. Jason
I
Avery.
better know him.
Yeah. He coaches with him. He introduced me to him for 5 minutes. I just got a call from him yesterday saying, hey, I'm in town, you wanna grab coffee? I don't pay him a dime to coach. I don't pay anything for him. He's expanded to 11 cities? He's in 11 cities, he's gonna close probably 1,500 transactions this year. And he's calling me to say, hey, you wanna have coffee? That's the environment we're in. People like that are always gonna reach out to you. And another great thing about Keller Williams that most people don't talk about is, yeah, he's the #1 team here right now. He pays the same exact amount I pay. And everybody knows it, and I'll share it, it's 18,000, it is what it is. Everybody pays the same thing. It's not, oh, well, Craig's the top producer, we wanna keep him, so let's adjust what he has to pay.
Nope.
Or Ed's doing commercial, let me adjust what Ed's doing, cause we wanna keep commercial here. It is what it is, we all pay the same thing.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what everybody pays. It is what it is.
And I wanna just interject here, realistically, we are running a business, Craig is right, we have business-minded people here, I am one of them. I've been in business for a long time, I've run my own company, I've helped run other companies, including some big ones. And so, the reality is, it costs a certain amount of money to keep the doors open. And when you're a business-minded agent, which these two are, they understand that. Somebody's gotta pay the rent, somebody's gotta pay for the copy machine, somebody's gotta pay for the staff, it's not free. And so you can go to an office where you're on 100% and you pay $100 a month. You're not gonna get what you get in a company that you're paying $18,000 to be at, because they can afford to provide you with a whole lot more support and a whole lot more help, just as a matter of course. You look at our training calendar, I'll put it up against any company in town. Nobody's doing the kind of training, even in the other Keller Williams offices that we are doing. I just talked to one yesterday who said, no, it's amazing. So, and when you look at training, that's the cost of doing business. You know, you have to learn how to do the business, and it's not automatic. We've had a couple of agents in the last year who wanted to learn on the job. I said, that's great. You start by coming to classes and finding out what on the job looks like, because there's nobody going out there with you, with your clients in most cases. In some cases, these two, especially Ed, does that. But in most cases, you're out there talking to clients on your own, and there's nobody there telling you that you're doing it wrong. So you have to be in a place where people will show you and model for you and teach you the right way to do real estate. It's not difficult, but there is a lot to learn.
What's your favorite saying that you coined?
Real estate is simple.
Simple.
And
Not easy.
it's not easy. I mean, it is. Real estate is simple.
Very simple.
And you only have to do a couple of things really well. But the vast majority of you people, not personally in the room, but you people wanting to get into real estate, are control freaks. You're all control freaks. You're like, I gotta do all of this. I gotta learn how to do contracts, and I gotta do internet marketing, and I have to go and show homes, and I gotta write contracts, and I gotta get them approved, and I gotta go to title with signings, and I gotta grow my business, and I gotta go recruit. Nope. What does that make you? How many in this room want to be a real estate agent? Raise your hand. Great. What I just said is your job description. How many in this room want to be a business owner? Raise your hand. Then you are going to learn, in my world, or the world of us three, you're going to learn the value of leads, listings, and leverage. And when you have enough leads to generate enough listings, you're going to pass that all off to your business partners, employees, assistants, I don't care what you call them. That will make you make the decision if you're a dependent, interdependent, or independent mindset. How many of you in this room want to be an empire builder? How many of you want to get into real estate and get out of real estate in less than 5 years? Great. So my team, when am I done with real estate in this office?
Years
left?
Yeah.
A year and 8 months.
Yeah, actually, you're spot on. Remind me to take you to coffee. I have a year and 8 months left. I had a 5-year plan. Some of you, the wheels are spinning. You're going, wait a minute. I know you were saying you were in law and you got your sales. I've been in real estate less than 4 years. Less than 4 years. I know people who have been in real estate for 20 years that haven't made what I'm making this year. Because the average real estate agent does how many transactions?
5.
And the average real estate agent makes what?
15, 16,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's what they make after splits and stuff.
Not in my world.
Yeah.
Not in your world.
No.
And there's not even that many of them in this market center. And the ones who are usually not showing up.
On that note, in Las Vegas, I think the average is 5. It's 4 to 5 per agent. the owner of this office does 300 transactions. So how many people are doing 0 to average that out?
Yeah.
Most people aren't making money. That's reality. And most people, like teams, everybody starts calculating teams. Well, I got to give up money, and what's going to be like? It's real simple. This is the way I talk to people about it, and it makes total sense. If I told you today, let's open a store. You're going to work the store. I'm going to drive all the traffic to your store, and we're going to split the profits. Everybody in this room would say yes. That's all it is. It's that simple. But people get caught up in, oh, it splits, and what are we gonna do, and how much money is he making, and how much money are you making?
100% of 0 is 0.
Yeah, that's what reality is, guys. I mean, we're the support how many people do you have on staff, not agents, staff?
So 5 people who are not licensed and in active production, 5.
Okay, you have 5 staff members.
Yep, 5 staff members.
I have 3 staff members. That next week, whether we sell a house on our team or not, whether we close or not, I've got to pay their salaries. And he's got to pay salaries. We have that support staff for the team. Because if I didn't have agents on my team, I wouldn't need 3 people on that support staff. Probably do it with 1. But we provide the support, just like him. If he didn't have a large team, he wouldn't need 5 people to pay him. So we do what we do to help you guys become successful. Because that's, at the end of the day, you make money, we all make money, everybody lives a better life.
So let's talk about that for a second, because we're gonna transition into you. And I've got just under an hour left, and then I'm going to make sure you all get fed. And our goal is to meet and talk to any of you that you wanna talk to us. But let's talk about the difference between a real estate agent job description and a team member agent job description. It all comes down to support and accountability and check equity versus sweat equity. I'm gonna throw another one out there. I think I got a couple agents from my team. What's the biggest regret I tell you guys?
You didn't join a team when you first started.
I didn't join a team when I got into real estate. And here's why. I pay $5,000 a month to coach with somebody who can teach me how to grow my team. And if I was on a team, and if I truly had the belief to be an entrepreneur and an empire builder, I would have just aligned myself with Ed or someone else at the time and said, I'm gonna work with you, you're gonna work with me, we're gonna share because you're investing tuition money in my career. Because that's the difference, really. A doctor and an attorney, who by the way have the same exact fiduciary duty as a real estate agent, they're managed by the same business and industry, Nevada Department of Business and Industry as a real estate agent. They go to school in advance. What do you think they pay for their education and training? $100,000 on average, and how many years?
More than 90
8.
hours.
All right, nobody's gonna deny that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna let you know, this year alone, I will make 4 times more money than I did when I was at the law firm in my best year. I will net over $500,000. And if I'm netting over $500,000, and I'm in a relationship with agents on my team, and we have a split, and my job is to make sure that they're successful in making money, is it safe to say that my team is making money as well? That my agents are getting their numbers? I think it's safe to say. So if you take that mindset, you're just going to go through education and training lifelong as a real estate agent. As to where a doctor and an attorney just paid all that in advance, and they're gonna pay back their student loan through time. But that's the mindset shift of an individual real estate agent, business owner, and empire builder. I would have happily paid 50% of what I did and made to somebody who can help me fast track my success, because I'm paying it now.
And the comment that I want to make, because I've been recruiting new agents for a long, long time. I've been training them for 25 years, and I was a national trainer for part of that time. So I want to tell you that most of the time, agents in general focus on the wrong end of the problem. So you focus on what things cost rather than how much you can make. And you need to be focused on how much you can make, not on what it costs, because here's the truth, guys. There is no free lunch anywhere. There's a price you're going to pay. You go get a job and they pay you a salary, you're gonna show up at a certain time, you're gonna go to lunch at a certain time, you're gonna leave at a certain time, and you're probably gonna work for somebody who's not as smart as you. Because I did that for a while, and I remember it vividly. So, you gotta keep your eye focused on the right thing and not on the wrong thing. It's not how much it costs, it's what is the cost-benefit ratio, and how much can you make for paying what you pay. It's just a return on investment. So in real estate, you invest money and you invest time. And you gotta look for, where do I get the greatest return on the resources I invest, which basically are time and money.
Real quick, does anyone remember how long I said I've been in business?
Who? I got so much stuff to give away.
So I've been in the business 15 years. I started in Miami in 2003. I lasted till 2007 or 2008 in Miami, and then relocated to Vegas for family issues. Had to be close to my mother-in-law. She was getting sick. So I came to Vegas, I got licensed in Vegas. I already had experience, already sold 168 unit development in Ocala. So commercial, I was already experienced, I didn't need to do anything, I was ready to go. I joined the team for 4 years here, as an experienced agent, knowing more than probably more than even the owner when it came to commercial real estate of the team I was on. And I did it for 4 years. I had a strategic plan, I needed to do this, because in our industry, it's the only industry that has no internship. You want to go to become an electrician, you have to be a journeyman. To be a plumber, you have to be a journeyman. Here, you go 90 hours, here's your license. Good luck, figure it out.
And under the law, you're an expert.
Yeah. So I knew that I didn't know Vegas. I didn't know the laws in Vegas because they were completely different than Florida. Florida, we're an attorney state. Here, we're an escrow state. So it was completely different. I said, wait, I can't just do this.
It's 12 o'clock.
I have to figure this out. So let me join a team. Let me learn what I'm doing, and then eventually I'll leave it. The team owner knew. I said, I'm coming on. Don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm going to be here as long as I have to. And I left the team, and a lot of the things, I'll be 100% honest with you. You speak to my wife or any of the admin in my office, all the things that I learned on the team, while I was on the team, I thought they were annoying and stupid. And I use almost everything now. Because it wasn't. There was a purpose and a plan for everything that was being done. So, whoever's going to join is going to join. Whoever's going to be an independent agent here is going to be an independent. Whoever's going to align themselves with a team is going to align themselves. But give yourself the best shot for success. Align yourself with the right people, with the right business owners, with the right people that have the mindset that we're going to grow an empire together. You're going to grow your part of it, I'm going to grow my part of it, but we're all going to grow.
You're right. So now let's talk about the numbers as to why agents fail in real estate. And this can't be truer. And I mean, I interview a lot of people to join the team. They don't cut it. The majority of people in this room won't cut it because they won't achieve past what they see up on the screen. You will not prospect or lead generate. How many in this phone are excited to get on the phone, talk to people who don't know them, and are happy to say no? 1, 2, 2.5. Yeah. Yeah. You'll not follow up. Like you have a mindset, if I can't sell you today, I'll go find somebody else that I can. And you won't follow up. You let bad experiences bring you down. How many have had a bad experience where somebody, yelled and screamed at them and said, don't ever call me again? Yeah. How many a day do you guys have those experiences with? Yeah.
Oh, we want more than we have now.
Bingo.
Yeah. It's a conditioned reflex. You think real estate is hard, and it will not work, and you will not work hard enough. Yeah. I want to get into real estate. We're missing the papers as to why people got into real estate. If we can grab those real quick, because I want to talk about that in a second. You think real estate's hard, and you're not willing to work hard enough. How many in this room, by show of hands, and be honest, want to get into real estate for flexibility and work-life balance? Great. Great. That would be a goal.
And you can work,
You can work towards that.
you can work any 12 hours of the day that you want.
That's right. That's right. You say it's too competitive. How many real estate agents?
16,000.
16,000. Yeah, and I'm number what? And I don't know a lot? Is it really that competitive? Like, I don't know a fraction of what these two know. I know what I need to know. And I am quick to go to them and say, hey, Ed, what does a QCD mean? Somebody abbreviated it in an email to me. And Ed would be like, quick plain D? Oh, okay, that's it. Because there's a lot of moving parts in real estate. There's a lot of stuff that Sharon will actually go find the answers from somebody else. Because things happen, laws change, situations change. I mean, right now we are dealing with personalities in real estate at the highest level. It's easy for us to pull our hair out with some of these new agents. Oh my goodness. You keep making the same mistakes. Yeah, keep making the same mistakes. You choose comfort over success. That's probably a big one for any of you who want to get into independent agency. You want to represent yourself. You want to be an independent, what I call a mega mindset. You're the guy that's going to compete with, the attorneys for the billboards. I'll sell your home. Yeah, well, yeah. That's about you. That's about you and your personality. You will not make it a team sport. Team sport. I love my team. Ed loves his team. We love each other. We compete with each other. Connor, you got a commercial deal, right? Yes. Who'd you refer it to? Ed. There you go.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because there's big bucks in commercial, but there's huge liabilities, and it's completely different from residential real estate.
Yep.
So after Ed closed Mount Charleston, we had a bunch of agents who suddenly decided they wanted to do commercial.
And I was not one of them.
Nope.
And so Ed and I have had a ongoing conversation with these people about what it's really like, because it's not really like just collecting a big check. It's like it's falling apart the night before it's supposed to close.
Like an hour before it needs to record, it's
That's
falling
right.
apart.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a different business.
Yeah, and on team sport, just so you guys know, 90% of that training is Craig, myself, other successful agents in this office. That's who's training you guys. It's not somebody coming up here speaking saying, oh, this is what I think is gonna work. It's us saying, look, this is what works for us. This is what we think is gonna work for you. So let's try it.
We're in the middle of Ignite right now, which is a 4-week training, 3 days a week. And I take the first hour, I take the first and last class and take the first hour of every class because it's about accountability. But our top agents are the ones who teach the academic part of that class. And the reason we do it that way, and God bless them for doing it, is because you then get the benefit of not only their knowledge, but their experience. They teach you tips and tricks that just one instructor could never provide you with that benefit.
What class are you teaching?
I just taught yesterday
Database.
The database, basically building your business, and then tomorrow's class is
Something with your business.
what is it?
Something with your business.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Find your business.
Yeah, I think
Finding.
it's finding. So we're gonna prospecting. So putting the system in place and then feeding the database through prospecting. And I'm very passionate about those things.
Yeah, so that's kind of what, he wasn't even in the meeting when we had the meeting because he was on an appointment. And when we started talking, I told Sharon, I'm like, you know what? These are two things that he's really, really good at. I think you should teach these two classes. That's what we do. We all know our strengths and weaknesses. I'm not good at everything. I'm good at a couple things, so I surround myself with people that are better than me at other things.
Absolutely, yes.
And adding on to what they say, a lot of the classes, since there are a lot of different agents that are teaching them, a huge benefit of doing that is you're going to see how every agent is very different, because everybody runs their business differently. Like, there's some that are complete opposites of one another. So it's good to have a lot of different personalities because you'll be able to locate somebody that you relate to, attach on, and just stand on the shoulder of a giant. Let somebody else show you all of their hard work and save yourself 5 years of time by learning from somebody else that's already done it. No reason to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
Stand on shoulders, short
So let's finish this up. We're about ready to get into the fast but fun stuff, and then we're gonna get you guys out of here to go lunch. But one of the other reasons that agents fail is they have a short-sighted outlook. How many of you
walked in here today going, I'm gonna get my real estate license, and I'm gonna have flexibility, and I'm gonna buy that nice car, and I'm gonna put money in the bank, and I'm going to do this. And now you're saying, okay, those are goals and dreams, and I wanna get there, and I realize that I'm gonna have to be a little more articulated, I'm gonna have to be a little more accountable, I'm gonna have to work a little harder than maybe I thought I did in the beginning, it's gonna cost me more to start my business than I thought it was. How many of you are starting a mind shift of what you thought and what the reality is starting to be apparent now? How many? How many of you are like, no, it's gonna cost me $3,000, I'm gonna work 60 plus hours a week, it's gonna be a hustle, and I gotta get on the phone for 8 hours a day to build my business so that I could feed my business, service my business, and ultimately close it? How many of you are like, I know exactly what I need to know? Okay, fair enough, so about half the room. Most of you are like, I don't know if I should say anything. Okay. You focus on the expenses instead of growing your spirit. I have always been good about throwing money into my business. I follow a model. In fact, I'm under the MREA model on page 198, which is these are your cost of sales, this is what you're gonna pay your team splits, this is what you're going to pay your office expenses, and this is what your profit is. It says 29.6%, I'm under 20%. I'm under 20%. Because I know that our market's going into a shift. And so I'm turning all of my fixed expenses into variable expenses. Because I run a business, I'm not a real estate agent. By the way, I'm not in production. I don't actively sell homes anymore. So that $500,000 is by me coaching my team. So you want to earn your time off? I'm earning my time off. It's cost me money, but I'm earning my time off. Last year, not that I want to get off track, but I think it's important about expenses. Where was I last year at this time?
We're in Greece, right?
I was in Greece for 35 days, completely out of my business. My team had $100,000 a month. 1 month, gross commission income into the team, $100,000. I was gone. I was gone. I put my vacation on my calendar when I'm doing my business planning for next year. And I work my ass off while I'm here. And when I'm not here, I'm out. I'm gone. Now, how many have I just inspired? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You get into business for the wrong reasons. Okay, some of you came here today because you want to put on a name tag and you're like, I want to go help people buy their home. Yes, of course, we want to help people unless you're in commercial. You want to control people. The rest of us, we want to sell residential and help people. Well, yeah, but that's the job. Keller Williams says God, family, then business. And I'm sorry, but I really screwed up the top two for a long time. Business was always first. And for the first 4 years in my life, I turned that around. For the first 4 years in my life, I was actually able to go away for 35 days with my partner and say, you know what? F Vegas, F my real estate business, F everybody else. It's about you and I. Let's go. And it finally became God, family, business. So get your priorities straight. Like, get really clear with yourself. When you make that decision to go into real estate, you get really, really clear. And you say to yourself, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work long hours. And by 5 years from now, I'm out. By choice. By choice. 3,000, we know that's just what it's going to cost to get in the business. 3,000. How many of you have 3,000 in your checkbook, in your bank account, under your pillow right now? Awesome. So now you're going to take $3,000 plus your average living expenses for the next 6 months, and you're going to make sure that that is also in your bank account to ensure as an individual agent you have success. And if you don't have that money, let's say $2,000 a month for living expenses, rent, and car, and groceries, and all that stuff. So 6 months, that's $12,000 plus the $3,000 to get an agency. $15,000 $15,000. Do not get into real estate on your own. Do not do it. Do not do it. Unless you have some magic power that I don't know about, and then I'll go ahead and I'll pay you the 15 grand right now. I will. Don't do it. I highly encourage you line yourself with a team. If you made the decision to get into real estate, which it sounds like each and every one of you have made the decision, you're just trying to figure out, are you interested or committed? Do not do it alone unless you have that money. That is why people fail in less than 18 months. If you have another job and you don't have an exit plan, don't get into real estate. Because guess what? We live a life of scarcity by nature. By nature. Success and growth and wealth is a conditioned reflex. You have to coach and train and raise your financial thermostat to rise to that occasion. People win the lottery. What happens in 1 to 5 years with the average person? They're broke. They're broke. Some of you, your first deal will be the most singular check you've ever made in your life. Some of you. It's not uncommon to get a $30,000 commission check, your first deal, because you learn so much momentum and so much growth, and you tell everybody in the world, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a real estate agent. And all of a sudden somebody goes, sucker, I'm gonna do a deal with him because I can control him and get him to do what I want him to do. And you'll get paid. And you go, I got $20,000, what am I gonna do with this? And all of a sudden you stop working and you start living. And you're like, hey Craig, when you go to Greece again, I'm gonna go with you. And all of a sudden your productivity and your production go down, your relationships go down because you're a real estate agent, you're a business person. So unless you have that strength, that knowledge, that education, that experience, that, you're going from a $100,000 career to a $100,000 career, line yourself with somebody. I coach to the whole agent. I know things, and I'm blessed, and I keep them close to my heart, but I know things about my team that maybe their family doesn't know. And that's what makes our partnership. Like, they walk into me and they're like, man, I gotta talk to you. Like, man, I'm working my ass off, and I'm trying, and there's no try. I'm intending to be very successful, and I'm having a breakdown, man. Yeah. I want you to have a breakdown, because if $100,000 is easy, we would have 160,000 real estate agents. So I get them through this pretty fast. I get them through that. You don't understand how or what the market is. I asked you. I walked in here, first thing out of my mouth was, who knows what the market's like? For most agents right now, they're going to be knocking on my door tomorrow going, hey, we saw your Real Talk. We're licensed. You didn't do so hot this summer. Apparently the market was hot, and now we know the market's changing. You got room for one more? I don't know. What'd you do for 12 months? Are you ready to get on the phones? Are you ready to hustle? Are you ready to make this your 24-hour job? Are you ready to perform when your client wants you to perform? Are you ready to do what I tell you to do until such time as you can do what you need to do without me telling you? Because our relationship's going to start on a dependent mindset, and my job is to get you into an independent mindset where you actually question our relationship, and you have to sit there and go, man, I'm paying you a lot of money. And now I think I can go and do this on my own. I can take your tools and your systems, and then I get you quickly through that into an interdependent mindset where I say, great, leadership. Now let's help the rest of the team. Let's make money off of them. Oh, you want to move to San Diego by the end of the year? What does that look like? How can we be business partners and grow? Some of you, your wheels are spinning. You believe that being successful in real estate is easy. I'm very fortunate to have really high highs in my life, and I'm really fortunate to have really low lows just like both of you. I have been flat broke, and I've had $1 million sitting in my bank account.
unless you can kind of bring your life to that equation and go, all right, I know what it's like to have nothing. And I know what it's like to have success. And I know that I want to stay somewhere in the middle of that for the rest of my life. Like I coach and I recruit to that. I like it when people come to me like, I filed bankruptcy, I lost everything, my parents don't talk to me anymore, I'm divorced 3 times. I like that. I like that because now I know what your low is. Now I know, because in my world, is it easy? No, it's not, man. We have to sell a lot of homes. We have to sell 240 homes this year. We have to sell 300 homes next year. I have to break $1 million in gross GCI next year. Next year. Because remember I had a what plan? So either I train, recruit, and coach to my plan, or I find people who can do it. We all live that same thing. So the last one, I'm going to barrel through them. You're difficult to work with. I've learned not to be so difficult. And it's a daily struggle. It's daily, man. It's
like that for all of us.
yeah, it's tough. I often have to go back here and go, okay, I got this. Because I'm not, like, I'm very competitive. And I don't always want it to be win-win. I want it to be win-lose.
But when anybody loses, everybody loses. And
Absolutely.
Greg understands that.
Absolutely.
So he's painting himself as this really tough guy, but I will tell you, Greg contributes a great deal to this market center in many different ways.
Yeah.
And when he comes into me to solve a problem, he's coming in saying, I want to figure out what the right way is to do this. And that's where Ed comes from. That's where most people come from.
Yeah.
Is let's figure out the right way to do this.
That was important for me. That was important for my team when we came to Keller Williams. If I went to that other brokerage, that golden handcuff brokerage, this isn't their belief. And that's why they're not the #1 real estate in the world. They're not the #1 training company in the world. They're not the #1 best place to work for in the world. Because you know what, real estate by itself, it's a lonely industry if you let it, right?
Oh, it's tough.
It's like being on an island and there is no boat. Some of us want to be on the island and we want to burn the boat, but that's intentional. But for others, it's really lonely. And a lot of places, guys, you don't learn there in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years what you're learning here now. I have an agent who joined my team on Monday, licensed in 2 states, right? And I said, great, we're going to bowl tomorrow. It's $800, and that's my commitment to my team. So I hope you have the money, and I hope you're there tomorrow morning. And if money is the only obstacle, let's have a conversation beforehand. He showed up the next morning going, what did I get into? Quit his job. He's in real estate full-time now because he saw the opportunity. He actually spent a day, and he's going to spend 7 weeks, around 120 producers, I'm going to guess, that are anywhere from brand new agent, the broker signature still wet, to people who are actually producing more than me.
That own market centers.
That own market centers. That's a great space to be in. OM-frickin-G. Wow. That's what Keller Williams does. And somebody actually came up to me and said, how did you get him to do this? I said, it's standard. My people have to be great. We have to be great. We run empires. This is a cash cow to fund something else. The people on my team, they don't want to be in real estate long term. They do not enjoy opening up blinds and turning on air conditioning and light. They don't enjoy that. This funds something that's much bigger than I am, or they are, or the market center is. Love this. You open your business one day a week. How many in this room have jobs? Yeah? How many of you have a schedule that you go into your job X days a week? You know how many real estate agents are like, oh, I'm going to go get my eyes done today. I'm going to go shopping tomorrow. My friend's coming into town, so we're going to go to the strip. Because they have,
talking about them.
yeah, they don't have a business. They don't have a business. And so what happens is they get a phone call, it doesn't get answered, that buyer goes, up next, up next, up next. I work in my business when, guys?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Monday through,
Saturday.
and
Take Sundays off.
everybody in my world knows it, my clients, my family. I'm in Home Depot and it's like 8:01 and phone rings and I'm like, oh no, turn my watch back 20 seconds. Life stops. My family will stop. Oh, wait. Like that happened once and then you realize it's not gonna happen again. You have banker hours, same thing. You have no sales swagger. How many in this room have a real estate, or how many in this room have a sales background? They've sold something not on Craigslist. Okay? 3/4 of the room. So how the hell are the rest of you guys think you're going to be successful in real estate if you're not a salesperson? Okay? You have to learn. Now, I told you guys I was never going to be a real estate agent because I am not a good salesperson. And what I found out was I'm an amazing salesperson. But that was my limiting belief. I didn't know that until I coached through it, until I had people and clients and agents and brokers. Did you get into real estate because you're like, yeah, I'm in Miami and I sold half the Cubans what they have today? No. You didn't, right?
No, I actually got into it because I needed the money. I was like, I gotta find something to do.
And I got into it because I hated the corporation I was working for. And when I was working for the developer, I was a controller and I hated salespeople. So I was never gonna be one. And I became very successful in real estate, okay? But I did have to learn a lot in order to get to where I got.
Learning is the biggest part of this business. You never stop learning.
Oh, absolutely. We're in bold right now. We have agents, how many in this room are in Ignite? There's some people who are here because I asked you to be here. Okay, some of you are in Ignite. Ignite is a 4-week crash course on how to get into real estate. Nuts and bolts. Do this, do this, do this, stop doing this. Say this, don't say this. Look like this, act like that. It's a crash course. If you don't know anything, we're gonna start here. And as you start growing yourself as a person, you start growing your business, we're gonna graduate you into other levels of success. But Ignite is like the fire, which is Ignite, get it? Ha ha ha, Ignite. And it just gets you going. First day, what you had, like 10 people in the class that were resistant to get on the phone?
I had about 4 that were
Okay.
seriously resistant about getting on the phone. And in day 2, we made 4 appointments. One of them made an appointment with a potential buyer that she got on the phone with after telling me that she couldn't call people who were her friends. It was a friend that she called, who said, oh, well, now that you mention it, we're thinking about buying a house.
I could end right now. I could literally just stop. We could go eat lunch, and that in itself is enough value.
Another,
Aiden's an Ignite graduate.
and another phone-focused
Focus,
person.
he hated the phones.
Well, no, he'd get up and go to the bathroom every time we was talking about it.
And now he runs a team. There's 5, 6 guys on his team, and they're on the phones 8 hours a day.
And Hayden just broke $100,000 in GCI.
Yes.
And
And he's 21 years old?
22.
22 years old. And he hated the phones.
Yep.
He dreaded making phone calls. And now that's all he does, all day long.
It was interesting because I asked him, when he finally started staying in the room, it was about halfway through at night, and he started staying in the room, and I said, what happened that made you decide you need to get on the phone? He said, I just figured out I was gonna have to do it, and you weren't gonna quit. No, I wasn't.
It will be a challenge for any real estate agent who does not have an SOI. Now, this is a trick question, and there's a reward for somebody who can tell me what an SOI is, who's not on the team or at the brokerage. Who can tell me what an SOI is? Yay!
Girl.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Sphere of influence. People who know you, like you, and trust you. If you don't have a sphere of influence and you get into real estate, unless you have some superpower, if you're not willing to get on the phone and talk to strangers, you will not make more than $100,000. Let me be very clear about that now. I was resistant to that. I had a very big sphere of influence. Prior to law, I was in entertainment. So I have a huge sphere of influence. I've always been good at databasing. My team has the benefits and the luxury of having 22,000 people in our database that we constantly touch, not in a bad way. But I was resistant to get on the phone. I was really resistant to get on the phone because I'm not a salesperson. And one of my coaches at the time, her name is Terry Brinkus. Her and her husband are on page 4 of this book because they've been with Keller Williams for over 20 years. They are what I would consider real estate rock stars around the country. They were the top 10 team in the country for 15 plus years. They are the #1 team in Las Vegas. Rick Brinkus alone will do somewhere between 350 to 450 listings this year. I had the privilege of having a conversation with her. And she's like, why are you spending so much money on Zillow? Remember I said we're gonna come back to Zillow? I'm like, well, Zillow gives me leads. My team needs leads. They gotta, they gotta eat, they gotta make money, and they're lazy. That's why they're on the team. I give them stuff. She said, nope, you're giving them a fish. They're eating for the day. There's no value. You're not teaching them to fish, where they grow their business, they become bigger and better. You're actually hurting your agents. I'm like, what? She's like, you can go out and take business all day long, because business comes to you in one of 3 ways. You can be given business, referrals. You can go out and pay for business, advertising, marketing, or you can go and take the business. So I've learned to teach my team all 3 of those. And so I have a relationship with my team that says, great, I'm going to give you a lead, and you're going to earn a lead. And as long as we are in that type of relationship, we now have a what? Partnership. And if I know that my money is made off of you, don't you now think I'm going to teach you to not only fish, I'm gonna get you a really big boat with a really big net. I'm gonna put you in the ocean instead of the stream or the pond. And I'm gonna say, are you out of gas yet? Can I give you more gas? I taught them about metrics. I taught them to say, you know what? We need to do 2 or 3 things at a time, and we need to do it really well. And the one thing I taught them is understand your time value. Because that's one thing I walked into real estate about, and that's one thing I want all of you to leave here today knowing. I know how much money I made at the law firm per hour. Why? Because naturally, law firms, we have to bill for our time. It's like you're taught that. It's day 1. And I was billing at $250 an hour. So I get into real estate, and I'm like, no, $250 an hour, $100,000 a year, $300,000 a year. Like, I knew what my time metric was. And I started teaching my agents, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, if I go out there and door knock all day, 8 hours, 60 doors, I'm gonna have 5% open up the door, I can do the metrics. And if I go and call my sphere of influence, Aunt Diana, 45 minutes on the phone, how come you didn't send me a Christmas card, blah, 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 no referral, thinking, okay, 45 minutes. If I get on the phone and talk to people who have raised their hand about real estate and said, I'm an expired, I'm a FSBO, I'm a withdrawn, I'm a distressed, I'm a divorce, I have a metric. You run your business based off of metrics. And what is your team's highest dollar producing activity per hour?
Calling expires.
So calling and expires. I can put my team on the phone for 3 hours a day, and they can set 2 appointments. I know that my team has a conversion rate of appointments set to appointment held of somewhere between 25 and 50%, depending on the education and training of the agent. So if I have an agent that says, I want to close 50 deals this year, and they're a brand new agent, and they're messy, they're like, hi, hi, my name is Craig, and I sell real estate. If they're really not educated and they haven't learned the scripts,
I'm gonna say they're about 25% conversion to appointment set to appointment held. I'm gonna say that their appointment held to contract is gonna be somewhere between 10 and 25%. Which means, adding it all up, from dial time to contract close, about 1%. 1%. So if he has to close 50 deals a year, and he has to set, and that's 1% of the appointments that he set, how many appointments does that new agent who has no relationship and no experience have to set? How many? 1%, 50,000 appointments set. He's going to take 2 weeks off a year, so how many does he have to set in a week? 50 weeks in a year. Some of you guys know the math. 50 weeks, 50,000, what is it?
100 and some change.
Huh?
100 and some change.
Okay, and then set that for your weekly, for your daily, so 5 days a week. 1,100 divided by 5?
250.
Okay. So now, how many in this room can set 250 appointments a day? You can't. So what is the opportunity that we have? Increase your what?
Training.
Increase your what? So that we better your conversion. The data shows a brand new agent who does not know what they're doing has a 1% conversion rate. I actually have agents that I can track their numbers and they have a 0.4% conversion rate. And I am muscling them through better conversations, better accountability, higher levels of script practice. We script practice every day. So you don't know your metrics. How many now are scared? They're like, whoa. But we have a trajectory that we can change that curve really fast. We can get you into daily accountability script practice. We can get you on appointments with us. Most of you have the capacity to retain knowledge. How many of you in this room would love to go on a listing appointment with me? And how many in this room think if you went on a listing appointment with me, you're going to be better after the listing appointment than you were before the listing appointment? Of course. So I have one at 4 o'clock today. Who's going to go with me? Probably should tell. I probably should tell the seller. Hey, by the way, can we have it in my office? No, I'm kidding. But so as team owners, we understand our metrics. Like I know exactly what a new agent has to do. I know exactly. I know exactly. Connor over here door knocks. I'm like, all right. Connor's a social guy. He wants to door knock. It's his business. Connor and I sat down. We had a 411. We had a 30-60-90. We had a 135. They're all Keller Williams lingos. Connor, like, are you having awesome conversations? Are you converting?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Connor, how long have you been licensed?
3 months?
How many deals have you closed?
2.
How many listings do you have?
1.
Great. So 3 months, and you've already done more than the average agent. Huh. Okay.
Andy's in Ignite.
Oh, and he's in Ignite. So I want to give away some stuff, and I want to get out of here in the next 10 minutes so we can all go eat.
Yeah, we're hungry.
Who wants to give me an aha? One thing you've learned today. Give me an aha.
It's gonna be a lot more expensive to get a license, or to get licensed.
Okay, it's going to be more expensive. And do you have an idea and a business plan to accelerate that curve?
Gotcha.
Okay. How many are committed? Oh, back up. How many are interested in real estate now? How many are committed to real estate now? Love that. Yeah. And how many know exactly what they need to do? Okay. And if you don't know what you need to do, that's great. It's simpler than you think it is. We actually have a packet ready to go that tells you what it's going to cost, what you have to do, who you can get your real estate license with, what that's going to cost, where you can get your fingerprinting done, what do you do once your license is done, what you have to do to be in compliant to hang your license with somebody. We'll do all that heavy work for you.
how many in this room, once they have their license hung with their brokerage, have the intention of making more than $100,000 in their first 12 months? Okay, it's an awesome goal. And I'm gonna tell you that 3/4 of the room will not achieve it alone. Alone. Okay? So, simplify your day, simplify your life. Get prepared now for real estate. Understand that you have dollar producing activities. Understand that you have mindset. Understand, we call it in bold, we call this guy our what? Drunk monkey. This is the guy that says, yeah, but when you save that money, you can do it. Yeah, well, don't worry about that until this happens. Well, yeah, well, Craig just wants to recruit you to his team. Selling. I call it drunk monkey.
Looks like Mike's wife.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of us have them in real life, that's true.
You need to learn about your drunk monkey and start getting real, because your drunk monkey will hold you back, I guarantee you. Your drunk monkey will keep you from making $100,000 this year. I have affirmations. I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great salesperson. I am a great salesperson. I get up every morning. I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great team leader. I'm a great business partner. I want a member on my team to be a millionaire before I retire. What are yours? Create a daily action plan. Amelia, our director of operations on our team, I know Ed has the same. Amelia, what does the team have to do by 8 o'clock every Sunday night?
By 8 o'clock every Sunday night, they have to have a calendar prepared for the week and emailed to us.
Yep, and what happens if they don't?
Well, I mean, usually the calendars that we ask for them, it's just to keep you accountable and keep you on schedule, so that is, yeah.
And if they don't turn in their calendar,
They're not
Patty
gonna-
does what?
Lock them out of the.
Yeah, they get
Locks
locked
them
out,
out of their
yes.
system. We just assume you're taking a vacation. We just assume that any leads that come in that we want to set appointments on your behalf for, you're not available. Cool, we run a business.
We do the same thing.
Yeah,
You have
most
a
mega
report,
teams
if
do.
you don't have the report to me by Monday morning at 8 o'clock, you get no more leads. You get
Yeah.
locked out, and then that's when you get the phone call. Wait. Just send me what we need. If we don't get it, and I don't even do it. Somebody else does it. You can call me. Don't ask me. Ask somebody else. And then we all know these agents. Because real quick, I want to touch on the create a daily action plan. We know this one agent that you had come in here and speak last year.
Okay,
Remember, he blew it up, 50 transactions his first year.
yeah,
He knew a bunch of people.
Yep.
Life was great.
awesome.
What happened year 2?
50
Crash and burn.
transactions. And I think we even said something like, hey, let's help you.
Yeah, we brought him in here, we actually talked to him, he's like, no, I got this. All right, good luck.
This is what happened to him. He was entrepreneurial, and he had motivation, energy, drive. He even had a little bit of assistance getting into the business. He was an old law client of mine, and he shot up, and he hit a ceiling of achievement. And he's like, damn, that was hard. Unfortunately, what happened is he didn't have a breakthrough. He didn't align himself. He just went and found greener pastures. So he really was never purposeful. He never grew his business. His whole thing was, I want to be top 40 under 40. Top 40 under 40 is you have to be under 40 years old, and you have to be one of the top 40 of those under 40. That was his whole goal. And he achieved it. And he's like, now what? It happens. Like, you got to get real purposeful. I said I'm out in 5 years. I said I'm building a big empire. I said I wanted to get in alignment with God, family, and business. My success for the most part of my life was luck. It was luck. I couldn't go back and say, this is exactly how I got to the next level of my life. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm getting too old. So Gary Keller wrote another book called The One Thing. This is my personal favorite. I have gone around the country and I have gone through workshops. So I'm not somebody who just read the book. Like I practice the one thing. If it's not on my calendar, it what? Doesn't exist. I live by my calendar. And I know that my calendar says from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., Monday through Saturday, and all day on Sunday. It's about my family. Gary says in the book, it takes X
amount of days to create a habit? Does anybody know how many days it actually takes to create a habit? First hand up.
21 days.
No. No.
27.
No. No. No.
14?
No. Let's even get in the tenths, Holly. Nope. So it's more than 45 and it's less than 90.
66.
I'm sorry, what?
66.
Would you like the one thing? You've already got it, huh? Hey. You don't get what you don't ask for. That's right. 66 days. So for 66 days, we whine and complain as an agent. We whine and complain when we have a new job. We whine and complain when we join the team for 66 days. And then all of a sudden, magic happens. Where deals start happening. People get into production and momentum.
Funny thing about that, it makes people happy.
Yeah. So I am laughing right now in my life. So I've been going through a dental treatment for, 2 years now. I got Invisalign going on. I got implants. Like, I am so blessed to be able to, put on a bright smile. And I used to get a little earful all the time. Oh, you don't have your Invisalign in. Oh, you didn't brush your teeth this morning. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm doing better now in my life than I ever have. And all of a sudden, that little ear has to go to the dentist. And the dentist is like, when was the last time you were in for a cleaning? I'm like, I don't think you've ever been in a professional cleaning, since I met you. That was a long time ago. And the dentist says, I want you flossing. First of all, you're going to come back next Tuesday and the following Tuesday all day long. You're not working, and we're going to get into your mouth. And he says, and I want you to start flossing. He's like, I know, it's a little thing, but you actually have damage to your mouth because you're not flossing. And of course, I'm sitting in the corner going, payback. And I get home. I've been flossing for 3 years. In fact, I was a relatively good flosser before that. But every morning now, I get to get up and go, you? Because I know it takes how long for him to start doing it every single day? 66 days. And he's on like week 2, and I think it's still a relatively full bottle of dental floss. So you get into real estate, 90 days, 6 months before you get your first deal. Because you're going to start doing things that you've never done before. On our team, write these things down. On our team, we lead gen every day. Our job as real estate agents to build our business is lead gen. You don't join my team, and your team is probably the same, without 200 contacts in our database. Now, we require you to do 100 of those on an index card, or dump your phone, put it on an Excel file, dump it into our database. Well, wait a minute, Craig, those are my sphere of influence. You're right, and I'm going to teach you how to get business from them. You're right. And every day, you're going to lead gen for business. Because I said, real estate business owners are going to focus on a pyramid called leads, listings, and leverage. You're going to call new expireds, FSBO. Who in this room can tell me what a FSBO is?
For sale by owner. Sorry.
It's all right, I'm going to give it to you. For sale by owner. Here you go, I'll sign it later.
Thank you.
Good job. For sale by owner. Why would I make people, and why would Ed focus his business on this? Why would he focus on expireds, for sale by owners, and make me moves? Okay, we talked about it a few minutes ago where I said your number one highest opportunity for business is your sphere of influence. So unless you have a sphere of influence, you're going to learn to prospect. What do these 3 people have in common? Sharon? The FSBO, the expired, and the make me move.
Oh, they've already raised their hand. They've already said they want to do something real estate related, they just haven't been able to do it yet.
Yeah. So, as team owners, and our job is to get you into production, get you into business, get you into making money, because if you don't make money, I don't make money, I'm going to say, hey, sphere, no sphere, this is going to be your second job. You're going to call all these people. They're all going to know who you are. I'm going to teach you how to do that. So you're going to call new expireds and FSBOs and making moves. You're going to call 10 people you know and ask if they would like the free home evaluation. You're going to follow up with all of your leads.
And if you can't do it, guess what? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I can probably do it better than you can. We have somebody on our team, that's all she does. And she's good, isn't she?
She's amazing.
Like, she's good. Patty. She can convert your leads at such a higher level. It's amazing. I mean, I never thought in my life my mother was ever going to buy a home with her. I'm like, how did you do that? That's a little bit. Know your market. Keeping Current Matters, write this down. KCM, it's an internet-based real estate agent website. It's awesome. Inman News, Gary Keller talked about Brad Inman in the beginning. By the way, for those of you, Inman Select, which is the world's largest internet-based real estate news platform, was in San Francisco about 4 months ago, and Brad was on stage. He's the publisher of Inman. He did an internet poll with the audience of about 6,000 people, 5,000, 6,000 people, and he said, how relevant is the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, today? By just a guess, does anybody know, percentage-wise, how relevant this is, based off of that poll?
100%.
Wasn't 100%. It wasn't 90. It was 82%. Does anybody know when this book was written? Don't cheat. 2002. And it's 82% relevant today. I mean, I'm a student of this book. I can you can quiz me on this book, and I can tell you with relative accuracy 90+% of the data in this book. I teach it. I'm all in. Hold at least 2 open houses. Study daily hot sheets. Attend at least 2 other agents' open houses. Go figure out what other people are doing. Learn from them. Oh yeah, a whole nother class is all about R&D.
Does anybody know what R&D stands for, or what do you think it stands for?
And if you get it right,
If you get it right, it'll give you something. No.
Research and development.
no.
Not research and development.
In our context,
Close.
I got a Starbucks gift card with my team's name on it. Who wants it? R&D. Thank me. You know my personality with an hour now. It's never what you think it is on the surface.
Research and destroy.
No, but you're getting warmer.
Research and divide.
Research and development.
Nope. Take the research out. Be a little more raw.
Real estate.
Nope. Anybody? What do you think I did to get so successful in 4 years? What do you think Ed is doing now since I joined the brokerage that is allowing him to say, I got this? No? Bam!
Boom! You got it.
What was it?
Rip off and duplicate. A lot of my success, a lot of Ed's success, like I think Brandon said it earlier, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Like I am spending money to go hang out with guys that are doing $150 million in production. They're netting $20, $30 million in their pocket. And they all followed this book. I mean, these guys are in, Jason Abrams dominates Michigan. I've got an expansion team in Michigan. Jason is my coach. I pay him $5,000 a month. And Jason's like, well, leads, listings, leverage, and your MREA says. I'm like, can't we have a conversation where we don't have to go back to a triangle? Yeah, it ties everything back to a triangle. So, I want to give away an educational course to somebody in this room. Did everybody fill out their little ticket thing?
Sure.
You don't have to fill out anything.
Okay.
You just,
So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up with this. I'm going to ask for some questions, and I'm going to ask for people's aha. I have some things here that I want to give away because that was always my intention. And then we're going to go out into our bullpen. We're going to have some lunch, Ed, Sharon, and myself are available. We want to meet each and every one of you. We want to talk for a couple of minutes. Any questions you have, we'll answer them. Selling, by the way. I would love the opportunity to get to know those of you who think that I could inspire you, hold you accountable to growing your business through real estate. And what does that look like? On my team, I have a path where you can earn your real estate license through the team as a non-licensed agent. It puts on heavy restrictions for you, and so it's a very short period of opportunity, but it does allow you to start learning about real estate and getting into the business and overcoming your personal objections, provided that you're all in. Think of it as a horribly paid internship program with a massive reward at the end. Connor, you were a product of that. Okay? So Connor will tell you, I took 3 months, I got in, I went in as an inside sales agent, I learned how to be a real estate agent, I had horrible conversations, and then once I got my license, all of a sudden the floodgates open. Ed has very similar opportunities as well. And for those of you who understand the value of Keller Williams and are not necessarily interested in a team for whatever reason, this person here will be your ally. She will help you with your business. She will put you on a business plan and growth. She will extend all of the opportunities of our office, our brokerage, our brand, and her agents to help you succeed. I help agents all day long who are not on my team, and I'm happy to do it. I have a very distinct line between the two. Okay? So right now, does everybody have their little thingy in here? And you have a copy of yours. All right, so this is a 90-hour educational course. And Mr. Mark, why don't you come in here and pick one of these? So this is Mark with Vegas Inspect. He is one of our business partners. In fact, Ed introduced him to me. And he allows all of our buyers and sellers to have great home inspections. And he just has a great relationship with our buyers. He educates them on the homes that they're going to be buying. And then he creates relationships with them so when they sell, when they buy, he gives us feedback. So you're a great partner, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
And he's also a Bold graduate.
Yes, I am.
So we need to give this away. You must be present to win.
I'm glad
I
I'm
don't
here.
think anybody's left the room, so we're good.
All right, sir.
Okay, so we have last 4 digits are 2493. 2493. Going once. Going twice. Gone.
How does that happen?
Jeff, come on up. I always butcher his last name, so he'll tell you his last name.
Vucinic.
There you go.
Signage.
Jeff is our business partner as well, and he's with Fairway Mortgage. In real estate, we have a level of success by being in business with people that look out for our best interest and look out for our clients' best interest. One of the things we like about Jeff is very transparent on our clientele. And he'll meet with, John and Jane Doe, and he'll sit them down and he'll say, you know what? You're approved. What is it you're looking for? You can have $1 million house. Is that what you want? Oh, you want a $500,000 house? Great. Let's organize a financial plan around that, and let's go find that home. He's also going to come back and say, you know what? You want $1 million home, and you can only afford a $100,000 home. So let's put you on a plan to get you to that $1 million home as well. And here's the things that we're going to do. So he's really transparent. He is literally a financial advisor for the buyers. He is really good at creating relationships. And what is the number one thing that agents don't do that they should do, such that by doing that they would make a lot more money? Follow up. He's a master at follow up. Master at it. Who do we want to look out for our clients besides us?
People who have their money.
Yeah. So when you can create a relationship with people that understand, my job's to get them to buy a home, because if I don't, you don't get paid and I don't get paid. You find these people and you work really closely with them. So he has also brought you some food today. So Jeff, who do we have?
2497.
Last 4 digits, 2497.
winner.
Yay! There you go. Hey, so Jeff and Mark and the 3 of us are going to be out there for lunch. Help yourself. Get transparent with us. Get real with us. We're open books. We will help you through anything you want.
I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart coming here today. I am looking for great people to be in business with. Ed is looking for great people to be in business with. And you know what? As leadership of our market center, the market center is looking for great people to be in business with. And you know what? These brokerages, they're not all created equally. Okay? They're not all created equally, and I guarantee you learn more here today in front of us than you have learned in front of any other brokerage that you have or will be in front of. Because here at our office and at Keller Williams, it's all about you. Okay, we don't have big balloons in the sky with our brands on it. We don't market, we don't have billboards. It's all about us. And that's why we have we have 8 of the top 100 real estate teams in the world at Keller Williams. Because as team owners and as business people, we understand profit and loss, and we understand expansion, we understand what we have to do, and Keller Williams does as well. Okay, and we're going into a data war, people. We're going into a data war where you are either going to be a technology-enabled agent, or you're going to be an agent that enables technology. And so next month I'm going to teach a class on that, and I just want your heads to spin that you're either going to work for yourself or you're going to work for Amazon. You choose. So thank you all.
Or Amazon's gonna work for us.
Ed.